Still talking knives. NTMP, thanks for joining me. In fact, I think my tabletop review, whether you're talking a knife, a flashlight, whatever gear item, so much better than it used to be. For lots of reasons. You know, basically, creatively, for my own personal goals. Yeah. Better spoken, more to the point, less repetition, on and on. I like my tabletop review nowadays much better. And I'm going to try to put those skills with a Z into play right now for a knife series which is absolutely phenomenal. Go buy it now. The SOG Zoom series. Pick your favorite flavor. It is that good. 10 out of 10 says the Nutnfancy project. It just rules. This knife. Absolutely stoked on these blades. It's actually going to be hard not to gush about them, which is a rarity. You know, whatever you're talking about, those guys who and gals who watch TMP know that it's rare that I really just break out all the stops and go, oh, this knife is so awesome, this gun is so awesome. Usually I have plenty of criticisms, right? Here comes the mini. I think I had the lock on that one. Sooner or later I'll get it out. There we go. So 2 sizes to show you. Mini here, let me put it near its box, this one. And the full size Zoom in satin finish. They also are available in black titanium nitride. These things are just freaking ill, cuz they are. I did talk to SOG while these were in their development phase. I saw them early on. I was sworn to secrecy and I shut my mouth. Didn't say much about it. And now here they are, coming to your favorite online retailer shortly. And by the way, for that, always look at my channel page. So those are my recommended gun stores. So right now we've got Cutlery Shop, we've got Blade HQ. Those links are there. They do whatever they can to give TMPers a good deal. They have to stay in business, because if they cut their prices too low, maybe they won't stay in business. I think your corner store is having some issues. I don't see those guys anymore. Maybe their prices weren't high enough to stay in business. I don't know. Maybe they're on sabbatical. Yeah, so go there if you want to buy the blades. Or, heck, go wherever you want. I don't freaking care. Just get it for the best price you can. But I do like supporting TMP knife places. They support TMP as well. Cutlery Shop is a great example of that. Man, these knives are sick. Sick. Philosophy of use. I would say, and I'll start out with this, is a pseudo-auto. That's what these knives remind me of, is an automatic blade. And we've brought knives to the table before here in the knife show that are definitely that way. That they have the speed and the panache of an automatic blade. The Zoom is that way. Now, if we talk about the full-size Zoom, this one here, you know what it reminds me of? And I'll just show you now. And I reviewed this back in 2008. And that is the still outstanding SOG Tac Auto. 3.8 ounces. This is a circa 2008 model. Around 96 bucks. About the only negative things I guess I could say about it. Slick scales, small deployment button. Other than that, total win for an auto knife. The SOG Tac Auto. These remind me of that. Very similar. The blade style is different. And in some ways, I like the Zooms a little bit better. Now, if we talk about the blade shape, well, I'm kind of jumping ahead. Let me stick to POU, and then we'll move on down the road. We'll get there eventually. But if you're, you know, hankering for an automatic blade, you can't have it because of your localities. You like the speed, the coolness of an automatic blade. Zoom. When we visit speed, you'll see they're just as quick, if not quicker. EDC, absolutely. Both of these knives are great EDC options. Great soldier blade options for integration into whatever kit you're carrying, your LBE. They are very lightweight. We'll talk about that. They bury deeply, easily integrated into whatever system you want to carry them in. Great EDC blades. How about tactical? Yes to both. How's that? The traction plan on both is excellent. So yeah, you can use it for that. Food preparation, opening packages, cleaning out horse hooves. Yeah, try that out. That'd work too. That's it for POU. You get it. You know how it is. This full-size one is 4.6 ounces, 3.5-inch blade, 8.3 inches overall. It says 404. I always just go what my scale says, which may or may not be that accurate. I think it is. 4.4, and then here's the specs on the small one. That would be my EDC preference, the Zoom Mini. A complete and total win for EDC, this knife. Complete. Yes, I still like the flash. Yes, I still like the flashback. The blink, the twitch, those are still amazing. And they're honestly lighter weight and even easier to carry than this one, but still, this is a great EDC knife. Feel is excellent. It feels very similar, again, to the SOG Tac. So we've got the 6061 T6 handle, which we see in a lot of automatics. The whole construction seems auto to me, but it's not. It's an assisted opening knife, legal in a lot more places. Fast in hand, great balance. That takes us to the steel. We've talked about it lots, and it is the OS 8 cryogenically treated steel. It's kind of a cool graphic. I really like SOG's website too. It's real clean. All the specs there. They redid it, I don't know, about 1.5 years ago or something like that. What do you think about that blade shape Nutton? I know you guys asked that. I actually like it. No, it's not all about FFG or standard blade shapes. It's okay to swap it out once in a while. And the grind on this is, as you can see, is, you know, a little bit different. Definitely not FFG. You're starting about here mid-spine. Good relief edge, and both arrive very sharp out of box. One thing I wish they would do for resharpening these things, which by the way is going to be kind of a pain because of the organic curvature, you're going to have to use those very slim stones with your EPA, or by hand it would be easier, is I wish we could remove the thumb studs like cold steel does. Because then we have a completely flat, consistent surface where we can attack and produce whatever angle we want on this blade. There's a close look at the relief edge, if I can show you, on the Mini. Great sharpening job. Satin finish on these ones. I kind of trend towards a black tie knife for SOG. I really love that finish. It's very cool. Like the blade shape though. I mean, and you got that same thing. I just reviewed another knife that will post near this one, the Kiku by SOG, also a SOG blade. But you can get an accelerated cut right here in this reverse belly. In my experience, that's the way it seems to me. So they cut really well. They shear well. Let's look at the tips on these. Medium, you know, precision. I do like a precise tip for an EDC blade because usually I have to do some detail work. I was cutting some tape the other day actually, with a blade that wasn't so precise up front, and I was like, I kind of wish I had my Spyderco Cali or something like that. It'll work though. Sweet blade shape. How about the speed? Outstanding. Yeah, I don't think it'd be any better. I think if it was any faster, guys would complain. You know, because then they're like, I can't hold the knife. It flips out of my hands. You know, not me. I think I like fast blade, but it's pretty much flawless, this blade, as far as the speed goes. Lockup is perfect, side to side. As far as I can detect, I can't feel any movement here. Up and down, nothing. Great lockup. Here's your freaking stop pin right here. Washer system. I don't think it's ball bearing. It's just a standard phosphor bronze washer system, I think. They will brag about it if it is, if it's a, you know, a bearing system. I like the bearing systems. I think they're cool. I would say definitely not necessary to produce an extremely fast blade, in my experience. Witness this one. Here's the Mini speed. Show you deployment on that one. Here I am. Look, I was just treating it like an auto. See, it looks so much like an auto. I'm sitting here trying to hit the deployment button. No, it's assisted opening. That's what I'm talking about. So when we talk about speed, let's look at the thumb studs. Very standard. We've seen them a lot in SOG blades. Dual thumb studs. No occlusion issues. No volcano issues. Perfect. Here's another very cool thing that I'm excited about on the Zoom series. I hope you share my excitement. You know, I don't like safeties in assisted openers. SOG has them in most, if not all, of their assisted openers. Some I super glue so they do not accidentally actuate. This one is the best I've ever seen in my life. Look how unobtrusive that is. This is a safety that prevents deployment, right? So it's going to be locked on here, right? If I can engage it. And that's what I like. See, it's not easily moved. See how I had to use some force for it? That's what we want with our safety. So now in the pocket, if you're worried about an accidental deployment, don't, because it's not going to pop open in your pocket. But you pop it forward like so. Again, it's stiff, so it's not going to accidentally do that. There you go. My recommendation is you never use it. I've never had a SOG knife accidentally deploy in my pocket. Your mileage may vary. I just wouldn't do it. But if you want to use it, you can. And, you know, maybe some guys will gripe, well, it's too small. I can't access it. Jeez. You can't please everyone. Jeez. Some guys you can't please at all. There's always something they find issue with. Not me. Greatest safety they've ever put on their folding knives, says I. SOG. And that takes us to, you guessed it, handle construction. Aluminum again. Another win for this knife. And this is one of the reasons I'm so stoked is they did everything they could to lighten it up. Let's see, my light today is a K3 by Next Torch. Huh, totally reviewed that. Love it. Look at that, dudes. Totally skeletonized stainless steel liners in the aluminum handle. They're inset in the aluminum handle. Pillar construction. So everything will flow through there. They've done everything in their power to lighten this blade. Hallelujah. Pillar construction till here, and then it's closed. And that is contrasting to a coil-fired auto like the SOG, or I'll show you some competitive offerings here in a little bit. The handle is not ultra traction because it's aluminum. It is machined, as you can see, with some detail work. SOG logo. It's attractive. I think it does provide better traction than this, the SOG Auto, just because this particular version here had kind of some slick insets used. Look at the similarities on the pivot points. SOG Auto and the zoom on the bottom. Same technology. How about the centering on these two knives? I like it when a knife gets a centering right. That's the large. That's the mini. I just don't see any issues. No rubbing issues. Just perfect job centering. You take it apart and put it back together, things may change, dude. Ergonomics. Well, here we go again. Another reason I'm stoked on the blade. One, you have a great thumb ramp for control. And if you need to do a penetration cut, you have a way to drive the blade forward. And you guessed it, you got perfect gimping on it. Nice and sharp. No whining allowed in the Nutnfancy project for jimping that's done properly. That will actually dig into your thumb a little bit. Please, no. And that gives a whole knife just such a solid feel when you're using it. Same with the mini. Reverse grip is fine. That takes it to the clip. Perfect. Another home run. That they've enlarged it, which we're seeing on a lot of the new SOG designs for thicker pants, like tactical pants. It's not too big. It's not too flared out. It's blackened stainless steel, which makes it an unobtrusive carry. Well done. The clip is a 10 out of 10. It's just freaking perfect. How about durability? Well, AUS-8, cryogenically treated AUS-8, is a good steel. It's not the hardest steel around. It will lose its edge in wear readily, depending on what you're cutting. But you can resharpen it. I do have a concern again on the difficulty of using a consistent angle sharpener on this. I'll use it on an EPA Edge Pro Apex. The smaller stones that will follow it, and it works fine. You know, would I back that relief edge up and make it more gradual? I might, and that's one reason, as I've said before, I like the FFG approach, because as I do that, it just seems like I have a better slicing machine. This blade, because of the way it is, I don't know if it's the ultimate slicer. You know, because it's hollow ground from this portion, by the way, but you got kind of a thick mid-spine here. It'll cut great, has cut great. Just something to think about. On the full size, about $70. On the mini right here, about 65. Now remember, I'm saying that these are pseudo autos, you know, proxy autos. So that you're looking at about 1/2 to 1/3 the price of an automatic blade. You don't believe me? Let's roll in an all-time favorite Hall of Fame auto, the ProTech TR3. 3.6 ounces. This is 154 cm steel in the very limited edition and very sick natural bead blasted, also 6061 T6 aluminum, mostly pillar constructed. Like that. This one is a circa, I forget, like 10 or 11. Great blade. And actually this is constructed very similar to that. I mean, almost identically, that they have this back portion. I'm going to show you another competitive option that will illustrate, I think, what I was telling you. This is a great blade, but it's expensive. About $165. That's what I'm talking about. So it's about twice the price of these. And you can accurately make a criticism against automatics that they're harder to deploy because now there's no thumb stud. You're in the, you're in the practice of a thumb stud. You gotta hunt and find that deployment button. There it is. Once you find it, they rock. This is a great blade though. I love it. Notice the clip though on the ProTech TR3. Tactical Response 3 is what that stands for. A much better, much more like the SOG deeper carry. It, is just invisible. I just love it. Now, to extract it from the pocket, you might want to put some grip tape right here because I don't know if there's a lot of traction to extract the blade. How about this one? And I haven't shown this in so long in the knife show, and I just absolutely love it. It's in my own collection. It's never going anywhere as far as I'm planning. The Microtech UMS in very limited edition blue. I think this is a circa 2004 blade. Focus camera, focus. There you can see it. This one is an S30V, I believe. Just gorgeous. Love this knife. 3.8 ounces. I think at the time I scored it for about $150, $150. More than that, right? Now it's probably, I will just ballpark it, worth $200, $225, maybe even more. Because, well, now it's a TMP blade, but, even without that association, it's very collectible. Just a great blade. Auto though, so it's limited to where you can own it. This is one I was going to show you, the Spartacus Citadel. And guys who scored this knife, hallelujah for you, man, because man, we got it for such a great deal from Blade HQ. It's an 83 millimeter C119 Spartacus Citadel, now discontinued, I believe. 5 ounces S30V steel, and TMPers, when they acted on my review, got it for $100. If you missed it, sorry. I said in that review, you're going to have to act on it because it'd be gone forever. What a great knife this is. So it's got good jimping, excellent blade shape, kind of the same blade dynamic this one does. So it's not full flat ground. Kind of mimics, a sheep's foot blade a little bit. I love the Citadel. It's such a great blade, but it's closed back and it's going to be a little bit heavier than these. And last but not least, for competitive options, and I just love this knife. It's been my EDC today, and I've reviewed it already. The Kershaw 1870 Knockout. What a total win this knife is. It's just such a cool knife, and it has the same deployment capability and dynamic that these Zooms do. Zoom. There's that little patch of skateboard tape I'm talking about. I have it on the 1870 here, and it helps me extract it because it also has aluminum scales. They don't offer a ton of traction. And this one has a loop over clip, which on this model, Kershaw totally won. Awesome. Some of theirs, they don't. There's a lockup mechanism. Here I am doing a freaking review on the Knockout again. I love that knife though, but it's a competitive option and it totally works. There's why I reviewed that. I always engrave my blades, one, so people don't steal them. Two, it marks history in TMP. Some of these I'll end up selling. You may get them as I try to make room for more blades. SOG Zoom series. Oh my gosh. Are they awesome. Great cool factor. They come out, as you've seen, just like an automatic blade. The pricing on them, considering the quality levels you're getting, just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. I can't fault it for anything. I mean, what have I said negatively about these knives? The weight is totally in there. Great jimping. There's a thumb ramp. The blade is gorgeous. The quality is flawless. Perfect clip. Great thumb studs. with the backing of SOG's reputation to fix it if anything ever goes wrong. Great job, Spencer, man. Great job. Great job. Yeah, I'm just stoked on these blades. Go get them. Highly recommended. Nutnfancy review. See ya.